This is a series that I'm trying to bring back a little bit. It's called We're Thinking About, and this is an episode of it, so I hope you enjoy. Today, we're thinking about music. We're thinking about vibration and sound and the art and the beauty of music that is just everywhere. I feel like this is a great place to start from because for me, Studio Raphael is very much inspired by music. And so why not follow suit in what you're inspired by? Music for me is just it's just such an incredible force. It's a force of nature. It's a force of existence. And, they say that in the beginning was the word. And when I think of that, I think of vibration. Everything is made up of vibration. Empty space we see as empty space when in reality it's just full, but it's full of particles that are vibrating at a speed that is faster than we can comprehend. It's like when you play a guitar or you play a note, you don't see the note that you're playing, you just hear it. We're surrounded by vibration and we live in this world of energy. And that's so cool to me. But that means that when it comes to music, that if music is also energy, then what we listen to, what we play, what we create, and what we do in the realm of music affects our energy. It affects the energy around us. It affects who we are, what we do, how we create, how we live, how society functions. Because you walk around, every store that you walk into oftentimes is playing some sort of background music. That background music then dictates the essence of the store and what it feels like when you walk in. I walked into a record store a while back that was playing metal music, and I could barely stay in there for like more than 45 seconds because it was just way too loud, it was way too aggressive, and it just didn't provide me a suitable listening experience to be able to just look around at records and hang out. But if I were to walk in and they were playing some light jazz or some meditative music or even just like, I don't know, soft rock, whatever, it would have been a much better experience. Music is just so powerful. Music can be seen as arranged notes, but music can also be seen as the randomness of the world. Music can be seen as stepping out into the street and just listening as the cars pass by and the birds chirp, probably crows if you're in the city, as the people scream at each other. Hopefully not. Hopefully they're being kinder, but tends to be a little louder these days. But that is the music of life. When life is in a very chaotic state, you listen to what's around you, and there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of just general hustle bustle, and you can hear the chaos. But then you step into nature, and you can hear the peacefulness. And there's a reason why somebody goes to nature for a couple weeks and they come back to the city and they could potentially just feel literally like a whole other person because they've been surrounded by such a different energy, such a different vibration, such a different frequency that they've been able to bring in this more calming presence to them. The music that they are surrounded by in the forest then dictates how they behave. Ideally, not always. Some people will go to the forest and it's no different. They just kind of treat it like a campground, party site, whatever. And hey, to each his own. I'm not here to judge. That's not the point here. I'm just saying that everybody treats it differently. But, for an individual who goes out into nature and takes the time to ground themselves in nature and then goes back into the city, you can sense a difference within a person. I remember for myself, I did a little trip, a 2-night camping trip by myself, and I remember going back into the city and just feeling different. I was in my own city and people were looking at me and calling me a tourist. And I mean, maybe I just kind of look like a tourist because I've tended not to really fit into the societal norms, but I definitely felt like a tourist in that moment. And it was interesting because I was literally just walking to my home that was like another 20 minutes away, and I heard somebody say, "Wow, there's so many tourists here," and I was like, okay. Interesting. I mean, at least I'm assuming they were talking about me because I'm pretty sure the comment was directed at me. But anyways, the music shapes us. Music, media, art, creation, but very fundamentally within music is so important to the shaping of our society. You look at people who are calm and who are zen. You walk into their space, I don't think you hear them listening to hardcore rock and roll or death metal or anything. Oftentimes it's very meditative music, it's very quiet music. Sometimes it's just no music, sometimes it's just silence. That's also music. The lack of noise and the lack of sound is just as important as having the sound. I know for producers or for other musicians, other people who create, there's definitely a big emphasis on negative space, and there's an emphasis on creating music that also has those moments of silence. Silence is very important to the creative process, because without silence, if it was just always noisy, then you wouldn't be able to differentiate between the start and the end of a song. You wouldn't be able to know when there's a shift. You wouldn't be able to know when things are changing, or when there's a significant event in a song that actually tries to take your attention and put it somewhere else. For me, over time, music and life have just become one and the same. And in some ways, it's about learning how to turn your body and your being into the instrument that then translates into whatever other instrument. And in essence, you are turning the instrument into an extension of yourself. That is creativity, that is creation. And you can also say that for the voice, because you can hear when somebody is singing through their voice in a space of wholeness and in a space of really knowing their voice. But you can also hear when somebody sings with a voice that is timid, that doesn't really know itself and is scared to be heard and is scared to be expressed. Music starts with the word, music starts with the vibration, and being able to express ourselves starts with how we speak and how we share who we are in all the forms of language, in our body language, in our vocals language, how we present ourselves as the energetic being, as the creation is an extension of our energetic resonance and our musical vibration that extends out into the world. Knowing who we are is vital and important to creating authentically within ourselves. And in some ways, creating authentically can also be seen as creating in harmony with not only ourselves, but with the universe as well. So music to me is just so important. It's been so healing. I've always enjoyed just sitting down and playing and creating and just seeing what comes out and just letting it flow and, embrace it. Embrace everything as it is and just find peace in the now. I don't know how I got to there, but yeah. Anyways, that's this episode of We're Thinking About Music. And we definitely thought about music, and it took us into some other places too. So I hope you enjoyed that. Like, comment, subscribe. My name's Aiden. Get engaged, get involved with the Studio Raphael community. I am super grateful to have you here. I'm just going to keep going with this. I'm going to keep building. I'm going to keep creating, and I'm going to keep learning how to express as authentically as possible with my instrument through my vocal cords and whatever else. I guess, yeah, my body language and others. Anyways, you know what? Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. It's a pleasure to have you. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. What do you think? Anything you're interested in hearing about, let us know. I appreciate having you here. And yeah, take care. Till next time.